What is up, guys? So, I'll just get this out of the way first. Yeah, the weights look fake. It's pretty suspect. And if they are indeed fake, Jeff's a liar about that and should be held accountable. He shouldn't get a pass. Within this community, that's kind of the ultimate disgrace, betrayal, etc., whatever you want to call it. Top 10 anime betrayals. Uh, to say you're lifting something that is not that and using prop weights, that's you can't do that, regardless of how many people you've helped or how many people look up to you, etc. Who your friends are, who defends you, blah blah blah. That's you can't do that. You don't get a pass for that. He shouldn't get a pass for that. And the channels who are closest to him, who hold him in high regard, should honestly be the ones holding him the most accountable. I can only speak personally, sort of relating to fitness, within the powerlifting gym I go to. Me and my training partners hold ourselves more accountable, than outsiders would. We're the hardest on each other, we're the most critical of each other, and when one of us makes a mistake, we call it out. It's disappointing, given the evidence, to see not only the subscribers, and I mean subscribers as people who don't have channels, and they're sort of an interesting fickle bunch at times. The anonymity leads to that, but again, the people who are do hold Jeff in high regard. Uh, you know, I feel like they should be the ones speaking out the most about this. Anyway, that aside, the point I really want to get to is about how, even as a small channel, your voice can be heard. This all started, and now this is being all the big channels, most of the big channels. I'm not gonna say all. I've seen it on Nick Strength and Power now. I think Kenny KO made a video. I don't follow the community closely, but it's showing up all over my feed at this point in suggested videos. Um, are covering this as Greg Doucette versus Athlean X, especially given that Athlean X acknowledged at least some of this now. He commented on Greg's video, so he could have just kept ignoring it. And as much as people would clamor for some sort of uh, resolution, be it drug testing that Greg mentioned, him not being natural, or the thing we all want to see is you know, him performing a lift and weighing the plates. Jeff acknowledged it now, so he's kind of, I feel like now at this point that he's acknowledged it, he's obligated. Whether he does or does not, yet to be seen. But anyway, it's been acknowledged by Athlean X at this point. It's made its way up the YouTube ladder. This started with Alec, a year ago, over a year ago, with that first video he made. And it's been, gradually snowballing downhill ever since then. So yeah, like, if you feel strongly about something, you can have a voice and your voice can be heard. I'm not guaranteeing you it's going to be heard. And in Alex's case, I mean, he had to take some lumps. He got a lot of ill will thrown his way from some bigger channels, and I'm sure that can be intimidating. In this YouTube world, regardless of whether you physically outclass somebody or not. Some of those things can weigh on your mind. But he took his lumps. He stayed at it, and again, he brought this. This is Greg Doucette versus Athlean X. It started with Alec Kiri like a year ago, and I'm not saying this to blow smoke up his ass or hype him up, even though he deserves some hype here for sticking with it. But I'm wanting to use this as an example for you guys that if you feel something is amiss or something is wrong, even if popular opinion feels otherwise, even if people will talk down to you and insult you insult your intelligence because of your views. Even if all this is happening, even if people, you know, have a lesser opinion of you because of it, you can have a voice. Your voice can be heard. Not guaranteeing, there's been, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of opinion videos by small channels that never made it past their audience. But again, with some due diligence, some perseverance, and some mental toughness, if you really believe strongly that something is amiss, by all means, put it out there, and stand behind what you believe. And you know, it could be this. It could get heard. It could be seen. Now, if you count all the channels all together who have been covering this, I'm sure it's seen a million times over. Uh, and I know Curly Neck seems to be getting referenced more than Alec, which, Curling's whole channel is dedicated to Jeff Cavalier, so it's probably the one people will go to. But and props to Curling for putting out what he's put out. I'm not trying to overlook you here. I'm just making the point that, again, this all started with Alec, that one video a long time ago. I think it's been a year or so. Everybody was quick to attack him. Right or wrong, I don't even remember all the case and points. I didn't watch all the videos against him, etc., etc. But that's where it started. And it's been like a year rolling downhill ever so slowly. And seems like the last, I don't know, month or so, the hill has gotten dramatically steeper. That ball has gotten dramatically bigger, and here we are. So that's the point I want to make. That's what I want to say. You believe strongly in something, be persistent with it, stand your ground, and, stick with it till the end. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but if that's something that you believe, fucking go for it.